Here he is! Oh, nice. I'll take it. Nice.
So you started a training session with just 4 guys.
With 4 guys, yeah.
And now you've got over 100 senior
We have
players
100,
currently registered.
that's exactly right. It is a lot of hard work.
Once upon a time, Ngongotaha Rugby Club was at the top of its game. It attracted talents from right across the district. But then a player exodus meant the club began to lose its way. Former player Jody Wharekura can well remember the glory days.
I was lucky enough, Nathan, to come into a culture that was very, very strong at that time. Ngongotaha had probably had between 15 and 20 years of great rugby. They were a force to be reckoned with in the Bay of Plenty. And at that time we had 3 All Blacks to our name: Hicka Reid, Mark Taylor and Jordan Brake. Through the late 90s and into the early 2000s, the economy in Australia was very strong. And so we lost a lot of our young up-and-coming rugby players to Australia just for the sheer purpose of going to work. And pretty much it was, that 2015 year was pretty hard for Ngongotaha. We had struggled to find players. They hadn't won, I don't think they won 1 game that year.
5 years ago, Jody returned to Ngongotaha to coach the men's team and to return the club to the glory days. But there were plenty of challenges to overcome, namely a community who'd lost interest in the club.
In the last 10 years before I came back, it's not as if they just left, because they live here in the town, they lived here in the village. What these players tended to do was just not play. They didn't like the culture. They might not have felt that they were safe in that culture. And for a number of things, it probably wasn't welcoming for the family environment. Yeah, so it was really interesting times. I think my first training we had 4 guys turn up. So that wasn't the plan. It didn't go to plan that way. But anyway, after a number of weeks, we managed to get around 20 guys being engaged in the program.
A lot of my grassroots rugby was played here in Rotorua, on the frosty fields with the bare feet, I suppose. And yeah, I played against Ngongotaha when I was playing for another team. It wasn't a club that was really playing good, attractive rugby. It was. I think they were going through a development phase where they were trying to attract players and trying to get things back on board, but they couldn't quite get it right. And got approached by Jody, and Jody come forward and he basically rang me a few times, and he sold me a bit of a dream, and he was talking about things that I really liked.
And that dream really was just to be around, did you want to be a part of the change? Did you want to be a part of something special, something pretty much not many people have tried before, because we're pretty out of the box thinkers.
There's been plenty of hard slog along the way, but now that dream is a reality.
Player participation is I didn't think it would ever be this strong again, but last year I registered 108 senior men. We have a senior women's rugby team again this year. That's hoping, we started it last year as a 7s program. This year we want to turn it into a 15s program. The juniors club has around about 120 odd children participating, and we've got 11 netball teams.
The boys train a lot harder now. They want it a lot more. They're a lot more athletic, and I think that's been a huge difference. They've also got we've got boys now that have a lot going on off the field too. They have families, they have kids, they have jobs. They're all employed, and they all live locally too, which is even better. And I think that's been a massive change. We've had temptations from other clubs, just played the 1 year and then left. We're getting into a transition or a stage where we have players that want to stay for a long time, and they want to get a blazer here, and they really want to play for their family and their community. And I think that's been a big shift. They've got a lot more drive to be better.
And the benefits are being felt far more broadly than just on the rugby field.
We've got a nice story at the moment where we had 5 guys last year in 2019 had no work. I've run a successful forestry business for the past 18 years, And so these 5 young men, they started planting pine trees for me in a local forest just up the road here, about 15 minutes out of town here. And they started at the end of May, and by the end of November, those 5 guys now own that contract. So that's been a huge success story for those boys. Yeah.
With COVID-19 causing a delay to the start of the rugby season, the team is back training and ready to take the field once again. Nathan Mawson, Local Focus.